Rat with a gold tooth or rat with a rotting tooth, neither appeal very much. What we buyers really want is someone on our side. We want help to solve issues slowing us down, holding us back, or preventing us from growing as we would wish. There are 6 steps on the client journey with salespeople. Know you, like you, trust you, buy from you, repeat buy from you, and refer you because we are a believer. This sounds simple, but salespeople get confused about who they are working for. Konnichiwa, and welcome to the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan. And you, much more importantly, you are listening to this podcast because you are a serious student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your own business field. Today's show is brought to you by the Sales Advantage course. We take you through the complete sales cycle: rapport, interest, solutions, objections, closing. Once you have this training, you are in control of every sales interaction. If you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then maybe we can help you. Contact me at greg.story, greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. How would you like your own access to 104 years of the accumulated wisdom? Man, we're just piling it up here of Dale Carnegie Training. Get our free white papers, guidebooks, reports, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information. Oh, so much goodness over there at japan.dalecarnegie.com. Now, before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is dozo. Dozo. If you're both walking through a door and you let them go before you, you might say dozo. If you're in a train and there's a seat and you invite them to sit down while you stand, you might say dozo. Dozo. Please go ahead. Dozo. Please go ahead. Dozo. This is episode number 166. We are talking today about keep your shtick to yourself, buddy. Smoothly memorized shtick, elaborate glossy materials, sharp suits, large expensive watches, bleached teeth, the perfect coiffure are not important in sales. Yet, this is the image of the pro-salesperson. Most of us have never met many pro-salespeople because the vast majority we run into are hopeless. We meet the great unwashed and untrained, the part-time and the partially interested, usually in a local retail format. The slick sales dude is what we have seen in movies or is a received image from urban myths. Hollywood pumps out Wall Street, Glengarry Glen Ross, Boiler Room, the Wolf of Wall Street, and we get sold an image of what high-pressure salespeople look like. Japan is fascinating in that it throws up some doozies: rotting, blackened stumps for teeth, disheveled clothing, scuffed, worn shoes, ancient food stains on ties. You encounter this low level of personal presentation here with salespeople. It is almost the opposite extreme of the American movie image. Rat with a gold tooth or rat with a rotting tooth, neither appeal very much. What we buyers really want is someone on our side. We want help to solve issues slowing us down, holding us back, or preventing us from growing as we would wish. There are 6 steps on the client journey with salespeople. Know you, like you, trust you, buy from you, repeat buy from you, and refer you, because we are a believer. This sounds simple, but salespeople get confused about who they are working for. They think they are there to work for themselves and get their commission or bonus or promotion, and the client is just a tool in that process. This is stupid. I coach salespeople, but am amazed at the dumb things they say and do. Some want to jam the square peg in the round hole and then argue with the client about why it will fit when it clearly doesn't. When they get pushback from the client, they then try to overwhelm the objection by will or force of personality. This is stupid too. The salesperson jumps into the slide presentation on the laptop from the get-go, or they are pulling out their shiny flyers or expensive brochures or whatever and are launching forth with their memorised shtick. My first sales job was early evening, door-to-door Britannica, encyclopedia sales in poor, working-class suburbs in Brisbane. Before we were unleashed on an unsuspecting semi-literate public, we had to memorise word for word the entire 25-minute presentation. It wasn't great then, but it is unacceptable now. Some people are still back in the 1970s with their sales efforts. I get calls even today telling me so-and-so is in my area, etc. I can hear the cadence of them reading it off a script. When I am coaching aspirant professional salespeople, I ask them, how do they know which slides to show or which flyer they should offer to the client? This is usually greeted with a "huh?" response. We all did show and tell in elementary school, but some have not travelled very far since then and think this is how you do sales. When I arrived at the Shinsei Retail Bank, the financial product sales team would whip out a flyer of one product, and if the wealthy client didn't go for it, then they would just whip out the next one. This went on until the client either got tired of it or bought something. As salespeople, we don't know what to show the client, and we shouldn't show the client anything until we know what they want. So, keep the laptop closed, the flyers in the briefcase, the widget under the table, and ask questions instead. By the way, get permission to ask questions first, especially in Japan. Here, the status of the buyer is sky high, and it is a total impertinence for a lowly sales pond scum to be asking God questions about anything. Nevertheless, get permission and ask. Find out if there is a match. Mentally scour the walls of your gigantic solutions library, floor to ceiling, packed with possible antidotes to their business ailments, and select the best one for the client. If there is no solution in your library, then don't try and force the square peg in the round hole. Just thank them for their time and go. Find someone you can help. If the solution doesn't fit, then don't waste the client's time. Keep your shtick to yourself. Engaged employees are self-motivated. The self-motivated are inspired. Inspired staff grow your business, but are you inspiring them? We teach leaders and organizations how to inspire their people. Want to know how we do that? Contact me at greg.story, greg.story, STORY, at dalecarnegie.com. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series, and we hope you enjoyed today's show, brought to you by the Sales Advantage course. As mentioned, if you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then maybe we can help you. Contact me at greg.story, greg.story, STORY, at dalecarnegie.com. Also, remember to access your Dale Carnegie training, free reports, white papers, guidebooks, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information. Plus, there's just so much more over there at japan.dalecarnegie.com.